Welcome back to the Blue Water Club. It is time to grab a drink and relax and get waist deep here at the Blue Water Club as we're going to kick off another episode of Controversial Cruise Questions. This has been a controversial topic since, I don't know, the beginning of cruising, it seems. No one really seems to know what's going on with gratuities, if they're actually being used to pay employees on top of their salary. And we're going to get into all the details, but first, if you like the content, if you love getting waist deep, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on this video, and you're not going to miss the next time we upload a new episode of Controversial Cruise Questions. So let's get started. You finally got that cruise that you've been wanting to book for so long, and the price seems fairly good until you get to the checkout, and then it asks you, do you want to add gratuities or do you want to pay them later? And sometimes, depending on how many people you're booking a cruise for, it could be a significant amount of money that's added on top of your cruise fare. Or you could say, I'll pay it later. And then you're enjoying your cruise. And the next thing you know, you're getting random charges every single day to your Sell and Sign account. You're wondering, what is going on? Well, guess what? You're getting charged an automatic gratuity. I would like to say that we can 100% tell you one way or the other where the gratuities are going, but this is a very messy and complicated topic. And in reality, no one actually knows the truth. Cruise lines keep this a highly guarded secret. There have been a few lawsuits where discovery has taken place and cruise lines had to disclose some things, but we still don't know the full picture of how gratuities are distributed to the crew members. But there are some explanations that rise to the top, and the most common one is that they are giving these to the crew members, but they are also using it to supplement the crew members' income. So, as far as we know, the way that it actually works is that cruise lines promise crew members a certain amount of pay on their contract. So, essentially, crew members are promised a set base pay amount. So, no matter how much they work, they are going to get paid what their contract says. In order for cruise lines to get to that base pay amount, they use the gratuities that are paid in. To break down the most likely scenario of how cruise lines are using your gratuities to pay their employees, let's say I'm a cruise employee and I am hired at a base pay of $2,000 per month. So, what the cruise line will do is pay them $1,500 per month and then use $500 per month of gratuities to get the crew member to that $2,000 a month base pay. Now, these numbers are just examples, but this gives you an idea of how gratuities are actually paid to the crew members. They're not getting a $2,000 base pay plus a $500 tip every month on top of that. Now, this is where vague corporate verbiage comes into play. Cruise lines get away by saying 100% of gratuities are paid to the employee. Technically, that is true, but it's not a bonus. It's not on top of their base salary. I'm not saying this is 100% true, but from all the facts that we can gather, this is the most likely scenario of how cruise lines pay out gratuities. Basically, a gray area where information goes to die. You get insiders saying this is how it works, and then you get outsiders from corporations that go on record and say this is not how it works. But you never get an exact full explanation. You get vague language that could easily be skewed one way or the other. Now let's talk about how the cruise lines are getting more and more out of us when it comes to gratuities. And it seems like at least every 3 to 6 months, there's a cruise line that's raising the prices of their gratuities, and they do it ever so slightly, just enough so you don't complain. So it's $1 here, $1.50 here per day, and it's just enough so that cruisers can say, you can't complain about $1 or $1.50. What are you even cruising for if you can't afford $1 extra, $1.50 extra per day? Raising gratuities $1 to $1.50 per day per person on a regular cadence, it does add up very quickly. Now, the main gratuities are not the only tips that they force cruisers to pay. So we also pay a pretty hefty sum of gratuities when you purchase a drink package. Yes, so not only do you pay gratuities on the cruise, but now you're paying gratuities on the drink package. You also pay gratuities on top of services, any type of service that you get on the cruise that's extra. They have also experimented with raising service fees. So if you look at it from a cruiser's standpoint, let's say you've paid for your cruise, you paid for the gratuities, you buy the drink package, you pay for the gratuities, and then you go to the bar to order a drink, and guess what's on the receipt? Leave a tip. Now, we've always been told that it's common courtesy to tip your bartenders, especially if you want fast service and a strong drink. So, what do? We feel inclined to leave a tip. And so, you can say for that one drink, you've left 3 tips, once on the cruise fare, once on the drink package, and once on the receipt. Now, I ask you, why is this so complicated? Why do we have to tip so much? I don't think this is necessary. I think that cruise lines know this is not necessary, but they're using it as a way to get more money out of the cruiser. So, what do you say, Blue Water Club? Has tipping gotten a little out of hand on cruise lines? So, they're never ever going to actually remove gratuities from the cost of your cruise fare, but they could just roll it into the cost of a cruise fare. One downside is that if they did that, you wouldn't be able to go to guest services at the end of the cruise and have those gratuities removed because you had already paid them as part of your cruise fare. And I know many people prefer tipping in that way. They prefer to tip with cash on hand and tip the people that actually serve them. Now, the argument behind paying the gratuities on your cruise fare as a line item is that you can't always tip all the people that affect your cruise. So the cruise line is saying you can't tip the dishwashers, you can't tip the cooks, you can't tip the people that's behind the bar at the buffet. So it's best that we take your tips and then we hand them out evenly. That may work in theory if that's what they actually do, but I think people, and especially in America, how we're accustomed to tip, would much rather see a person face to face, know that they've done a good job and had given them a good service, and having the ability to tip them with cash in hand because it brings more satisfaction to both parties. You feel grateful for the service that they provided, so you want to do something nice for them, and they feel grateful for you tipping them. It is a much more American custom way of tipping. So what do you think, Blue Water Club? Is there a solution to cruise gratuities? Do you think we'll ever get the full explanation of what's actually happening with the gratuities that we pay? And when is enough when it comes to gratuity price hikes? That's going to do it for this episode of the Blue Water Club and controversial cruise questions. If you made it this far in the video, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss another episode of the Blue Water Club. And like always, grab a drink and let's get waist deep here at the Blue Water Club.